Thank you for invitation to this conference. It's amazing. Yesterday was a lot of interesting sessions. So I was impressed about it, and some of the presentations cover or overlap a bit mine, but I'll do my best to try to explain what I mean about successful Sparx system environment implementation, how to prepare your organization. Before I start, maybe I will back for a while to the concept behind one repo, which is to provide a market solution tailored to current and real information management needs. I have chosen Sparx due to its flexibility and extensive community support. Additionally, the availability of third-party add-ons and solutions significantly enhances the capability of this environment. From my experience with various methodologies and their underlying tools, one common factor for successful implementation is the organization readiness to invest and its awareness of the potential benefits. Implementation challenges can be categorized in two main areas. For me, the first one is evaluating whether an organization is prepared for implementation and if it will effectively address existing issues. The second one is identifying situation where the implementation effort faltered due to overestimation. This is one of the pains. This includes cases where aspirations and expectations exceed particular outcomes. And this leads to unnecessary cost and lack of benefits, which can be considered as another issue, which is over-engineering. Therefore, before selecting tools to support software and development and documentation, organizational processes for reasons such as audit compliance or communication, it is crucial to assess if the organization maturity level is enough. This assessment will help to determine whether the implementation will be beneficial or if it may introduce additional problems. So this time I'd like to consider what are the key factors to assess if the organization needs tools like Enterprise Architect and Prolaborate, and if it truly benefits from this position. As I mentioned in my previous presentation last year, readiness for change in approach to knowledge-based management should be based on a critical analysis of the current state of the information management in the company. Only right judgment and naming of desired corrective actions allow us to look for help, cure identified problems, and not create new ones. These problems on the presented list can be some candidate for such exploration. So the complexity of IT environment, increasing cost of maintaining IT, or growing time to market, these are the main pains that justify such a research for solution. Nevertheless, the organization should be mature enough to start such an adventure with tool research and trying to adjust them to real organization needs. So basically, some of the governance processes should be present. At least one of the presented is expected to start thinking about usage tools like Enterprise Architect or some additional extensions to cure identified issues with communication and alignment of a company sustainability. Yeah, nowadays can be a presentation or product without AI to be mentioned. So even an AI needs to acquire valid and trustful information to support our challenges. As we know, AI is not a magic, but a very helpful tool that is based on up-to-date data and information. So we can treat the knowledge base as one of the sources for future EA. Today, I don't know, but yesterday Nizam has shown how to do it. But for now, I don't know an easy way how to use EA repository directly for supporting AI But I do believe that in the near future, we can support decision-making processes provided by AI through the content of the EA repository or through some kind of extract from it. I really need to look closer for solution shown yesterday by Nizam because it's really impressive. Yeah, now comes a very painful moment to me. Over-engineering. This is one of the most met by me issues upon implementation of a tool set. The most painful are, from my perspective, collection too much information, managing too many perspectives, using too many relations, existence of different relations between the same objects in the model, or using different relations by different users in the same context. All above leads to inconsistency in the model. What's more, the lack of the standard repository structure unfortunately makes the model hard to understand. Last year, I was talking about this structuring of a repository. So, in my opinion, by the way, BERT today morning has shown their concept for structuring information in a repository, which, by the way, is very similar to mine. So, yeah, this is the one of the key factor to keep the repository valuable and understandable to the potential beneficiaries. And finally, starting with customization of a tool rather than usage of embedded solution first, I guess this is the worst approach because enterprise architect, I know it can be somehow overwhelming at the beginning, but this is very efficient tool. So a lot of solutions are embedded. So if we only can, let's try to not customize from the beginning, but rather look for a solution in the tool which is very efficient. Another issue and challenge I have encountered is overestimating. I mean this as much effort is put in to solve sometimes very simple problems with the modeling practice or usage of sophisticated tools instead a simple solution. A few issues I can share is drawing instead modeling. I really often see that enterprise, despite his huge power in modeling area, is used for drawing. This is waste of tool potential. Duplication of the same information. This is another issue I have met a lot of time. Chaos in information management. Growing expectations from some people's side regarding the tool and complaints about the usability. The tool is dedicated for some kind of way of working with it. So we need to accept that this is organized this way. Misunderstanding tool abilities. Again, enterprise is pretty sophisticated tool. So likewise, CAD, it's not for everyone. Prolaborate, this is a different story. This is real tool and game changer that allows to access to the information for everyone. Enterprise is really complex tool, and first of all, you need to understand how it works. What's more, underestimating the complete environment of Sparx Systems. Sometimes I see that people won't only use the enterprise and they look for benefits. I guess Prolaborate is a huge game changer on the market, and only this twins, let's call it this way, can guarantee the success in implementation of this environment. Okay, so enough of complaining. Now, let's assume our information asset as a pizza. Pizza from the beginning was a very basic dish. Precursor of pizza was focaccia. It was a flatbread known to the Romans as panis focaccius, to which toppings were then added. So if you want to deal with information with this pizza, we should know first of all what is not a pizza. So spaghetti, it's Italian food, okay, but it's not a pizza. The same with Hawaii. Hawaii pizza was most popular in North USA, but the commercial success is often been pointed as having been sparked in Canada by a Greek. So come on, this is not a pizza, this is a cake. By the way, I like Hawaii pizza very much. So before we start dealing with information, we should decide if we want to go into fast food direction, or we want to run a pizza restaurant with good Italian pizza. So let's make a good Italian pizza using our enterprise architect. Of course, we can try to deal with local repo, but this will be with no value for the organization alone. You can fit only one person at a time. So I guess this is not the right approach. On the other hand, sometimes we can make many repositories, sometimes of weak quality or with no correlation, and again, with no value as a knowledge base for the organization. This is rather, again, drawing than modeling of the organization, and there are not many benefits for decision-making processes. So here arises a conclusion that we need exact solution for our challenges with the information sharing and sustaining organization growth. For me, this professional pizza and this is the enterprise architect and Prolaborate together. This is bad pizza oven I know. This makes repository as a valuable knowledge base. So good Italian pizza. Now it's the time for the pizza to do it. This is what we see on the picture was a pizza I found in Italy, North Italy, in the city of Salo over Garda Lake. This was amazing pizza made by professional pizzaiolo in professional pizza oven, and it was delicious, really. So the dough and the toppings are very important, but without relevant infrastructure and skills, this is not enough to be successful. So here arises the question, so how we can prepare our organization for a tool? First of all, my advice is start small, but think big. Based on this example, let's consider what circumstances are necessary to be successful with Sparx Systems or any other tools environment implementation to the organization. We need to fulfill some conditions as listed. As much as we can, more is the best. So the strategy of information management is crucial to be successful. First of all, we need to consider what kind of information will be valuable from a management point of view. Who will be responsible for actuality of the information? Because information which is out of the date is not useful. It is waste of time to work on such a repository. What's more, we should decide what perspective will be valuable and, first of all, understandable for the recipients. Another question, are there people who can join in this management of information? Because do it alone, it's impossible to be successful again. We should focus on one information kind for one group of stakeholders at the time, because when we start to stretch our repository in different directions, we can lose our goal. What's more, obey the rules. I have spoken about this last time again. So for me, the notations are really critical, and it's much easier to use ready to use and well-known market notation than discover our own. Respect tool ability. As I mentioned, enterprise is very efficient tool, so you can find almost every solution in this tool. And finally, adjust and evolve skills of the people, because together we can do more. So it's better to be famous of making 5 good pizza on crispy dough than try to provide to the people 30 plus pizzas with different toppings on the low quality cake. This foundation, this basis is really crucial. What will be the effort and the cost, and when we can expect first benefits? I need to be honest, it's a painful process. I did it a few times and I know what I'm talking about. And it needs a lot of determination and cooperation from the potential stakeholders side. What will help for sure is try to find the answers to presented question. As much as we have votes for yes, as much we have more chances to assess the right workload behind and for the implementation of this development. So from my expertise, from my experience, the first results taken as beneficial, as benefits, can be expected approximately after half a year. First quarter we will spend to set up the environment and the repository, and second quarter we will spend to educate people and trying to adjust the methodology which is behind this repository and trying to implement this in the organization. What are the costs? This is my average, let's say, estimation. Total cost of the first year will be around 30k euro, where as you see, the tool set is about 15 because it is 12,500 for Prolaborate for 10 users, which is, in my opinion, is the minimum setup to be successful and to use this tool right. And ProCloud server, Team Server Edition, which allows you to connect with 7 repositories at the same time. And I guess 10 licenses of Prolaborate Corporate, Enterprise Corporate Edition should be enough to make a setup that can make your chances for successful implementation. So this is the first year. After that, after second and next years, I guess this cost will be on the level 15 or maybe 20k euro per year. So this is my estimation. What is important? The organization needs to feel the value of this effort, and every time, if it's possible, we should justify that it really helps. This marketing, from my perspective, is crucial for successful implementation. This what I showed here, this is a minimum setup from my perspective to be efficient and to work with minimum comfort as a developer or developers of such environment. So in this setup, Enterprise Architect plays a role as a basic tool for knowledge base creation. Prolaborate is as an enabler of the information exchange, easy access to the information, or center of wisdom. And finally, some third-party tools that allows you to acquire the data to the repository. 5 pizzas and my 5 favorite viewpoints. Rome wasn't built in one day. This is what we say in Poland. So patience and determination are one of the ones that we need to be armed with. In the beginning, if you possess some perspective, if you propose some perspective, there will arise so many particular with questions with different ideas, because you have come with some idea to implement repository, and now you will see the hands with ideas. Is it possible to have such a different perspective? Maybe can we have a model with some extra information, by the way, out of scope of the current stage? Can we add those attributes to this information kind? Just a few. Can we forget about a bit about notation rules? Or maybe we can draw a little, because I need to draw something just for a case. Sorry, the answer in this stage should be always not at this time. I mean, definitely we should listen to a stakeholders' needs, but let's start small. Let's start with something that will have a chance to work, and then we can enrich this model by some extra viewpoints, extra data, extra attributes, extra perspective. First of all, let's try to go simple way and to deliver something that will be beneficial and valuable to the organization. So luckily, there is no need to go in many directions at the same time. This is again my advice. We can choose the importance of one of the perspective and viewpoint over another and stay focused on one direction at the one time. The key is to keep in mind the rule of usability and clearance of provided information. Again, Prolaborate is a game changer in this area. What will help for sure is the uniqueness of the information kinds in your meta model, in your repository. Understanding these kinds of information the same way by everyone, reusable information objects, and creation of perspective based on both up-to-date data. This is how to grow and how to provide benefits for organizations from my perspective. So now we can dive deep into a model when we choose, for example, our business subject matter expert. We can provide together another level of information. So when we start with business processes sequence, we can try to define, for example, business areas, business dependencies, or business process flows on a very basic level, happy flows, for example. And this way we just engage a group of stakeholders for cooperation, because if I gave them the foundation with some kind of information that they can enrich a bit, I can ask them to be owners of this information. It will help a lot to get to the data, to the information, which is sometimes hidden from the access from outside. On the other hand, we can benefit from this part of knowledge base being just created and provide, based on it, some kind of interesting perspective for another group of stakeholders. And maybe we can engage them the same way, the same approach for some enrichment of the data and collect some extra information, and so on, so on. So this idea is evolutionary idea that allows us to start with something very basic and try to enrich this information and to grow with our knowledge base. Okay, so this is another direction that we can follow based on the business process overview, which can be built in here in business process sequence. We can evolve it in direction of business glossary, because each process needs to business objects to work. Yeah, because in business process we will collect some information and we will work with this information. Based on it, we can of course prepare some part of organization chart, or we can dive deep into business processes. The same situation we can expect with the architects. When we start with one kind of information and reach this with some dimensions, for example, application catalog, we can try to, I don't know, decompose application components and define what is behind, what kind of functionalities they realize, what kind of integration is available for these applications, or maybe we can connect them with another dimension we have already done with business and try to define application like it for business areas, how the application can support business, etc., etc. So there is a lot of ways how to stretch our repository, but what I mentioned before, let's try to stay focused on one direction for one group of stakeholders at the time. Yeah, how to start? Even the longest journey begins with a single step. So first of all, we need to get some data to our repository. Of course, we can do it by hand, but there are much more efficient ways. Yesterday, Peter Lieber has shown his solution that get 1,100 data in less than 2 minutes. It was amazing for me, really. It's crazy. So yeah, this is a few ways how I can get data to repository. There are some ways shown on the screen. For me, the best works EAXL. This is a tool done by Ian Mitchell. This was a part of EA Docs in the previous release. Now it is called EA Teamworks. It is called EA Sheets. It's really good and efficient solution to get data into repository. EA Sheets offers as well possibility to get data with relations. The same with MDG MS Office integration. This is more technical tool, but very efficient as well. And finally, Prolaborate with a proper configuration. It allows you to work with data in Excel sheet way. What will help for sure, this is some kind of template. This template can be used to enrich the information for business processes, overview, or application components. This is the first step I try to implement within my development. So I'm delivering such a template to the stakeholders, and then I'm asking them, when we have some catalog of business processes or components, please give me some detailed information that you probably know, or for sure you know, and we can work on this information what you provide with another, let's say, level of digging our knowledge base. And most times it works. So this is one of the approaches how to engage people who doesn't know how enterprise works using Prolaborate to be successful and to how to cooperate with these guys. Simple evolutionary scenario for example, IT domain information management can be like this. First of all, we should ask for the main challenges regarding application management and together define and confirm the scope of information that should be used for this modeling. Then ask for actual application catalog. In almost 100%, there is such a knowledge point where this catalog is stored, is kept in, like, I don't know, MS Excel sheets, some kind of CMDB, or there are a lot of sources of such a catalog. Then when you use, for example, this template for component, you can enrich this data even in Excel sheet with missing information and get this get this data into the repository using one of these solutions. As simple as that. Then it's a bit work for modelers. We need to prepare some simple perspectives, some simple views that we agreed in a first stage. So we can prepare some kind of current model of application component. We can define what is the component identity. I mean, what kind of functionalities are realized, what kind of data are transferred by this component, or we can prepare some kind of integration perspective based on components and their interfaces. Then we can design future state, and this is first benefit that arises on horizon that we can sell to our company as a benefit for the future. Look, we gave only a catalog of information, and based on it, we can design future state, and we can be conscious what are the consequences of this or that idea. What's more, when we have this application catalog, we can ask business guys, give me a catalog of business processes. And based on it, we can prepare application usage viewpoint explaining how IT impact to the business. So our concepts of change management can be enriched by current catalog of applications and relation to business processes. This is huge change in many companies, and it enables better communication between business and IT. So this is just a matter of providing this information appropriately and formatting it in a way that is understandable, that is expected and consistent with the intention for the stakeholders and any other benefiting groups. Yeah, this is time for demo. This is Excel sheet I prepared to import my application. As you see, I have only alias, name, nodes that containing my template, application category, which should be made based on some kind of dictionary. This dictionary can be used as well for definition tagged value in a repository, and maybe some kind of tagged value that defines is it vendor internal or external. For the business processes, I prepared the similar Excel that contains alias name, again, my template for business process enrichment. And here three tagged values. This owner and this manager are string, and the criticality is again based on the dictionary. And then just I'm using the tool, as you know, MDG MS Office integration, respecting the idea of repository structure from the previous presentation. As you see, I have the experimental area, which is dedicated for candidates that will be approved. So only approved information can be transferred to the inventory part. Now I gave the package that I want to get all the candidates for business processes. I am choosing the business process profile to import. I'm adding the diagram and import, as simple as that. All is done, and as you see, I can look at the business processes in the MS Word manner, and I can enrich this way. So this is about business processes. Next, application catalog, the same way. I just chose the candidate package. I'm using the same tool. I'm choosing the, sorry, this is the, no, yeah, it was with application, because I saw the, in candidate, I see there is a package with business processes. So now I need to get the data about my applications the same way. Very simple Excel sheet that contains only 5 columns, 5 or 6, 5. Business processes have 6. These are candidates. So I have another process that is government process for my repository that allows me to transfer this catalog to the inventory space. So this is what I've done. It took me, as you see, less than a minute. Yeah. Of course, I can enrich this view by aliases. I have ready to be filled my templates of applications, and this is it. Now I can show you the enterprise with my tagged values. So let's see, UML, and here are my tagged values. Yeah. So I have application category, which is made by dictionary. It is system application component. I did the vendor type as again dictionary, internal, external. I did for the business processes criticality, which is again enum, yeah, critical, high, medium, low, and owner and manager, there are string. And this information has been placed basically at the beginning on the candidates, and then I have transferred this information into a model. So now I have with some kind of again some kind of plugin that describes this business criticality, or I can dive deep into model of applications which I can present as a Kanban based on application type or Kanban by status of implementation. This is perspective I can provide in enterprise, but for me this is not a pizza yet. So to work with this data in Prolaborate, I need to get the stacked values I've shown you to the Prolaborate. So I just do it by export reference data on the tagged values. And as you see, all the data has come here, and I can use it for profiling my information in Prolaborate. Now will be live demo, so fingers crossed. Let's see how it works. Yeah, this is my first 2 pizzas. First one is business process ownership. I want to ask some owner of the business processes, for example, John Doe, Mr. Please give me information about business processes. Of course, I can do it this way, like we get used to it. So we can open the form, and in this form we can choose what kind of information we want to work with, or I can do it in Excel sheet way. It is enough that I will enable this this feature, and now I can work with the all information in Enterprise Architect. Sorry, in Prolaborate. This fields, as you see, I have marked as read only because I don't want to give people a chance to corrupt my data. Of course, if I will, there is no problem. It's just only I need to make it this way and back to the model. And now when I enable this, it is possible to work with like in Excel sheet. Okay, so this was the first pizza. Let's call it Margarita. Then we can go to the criticality. Again, if I want to enrich the data about critical processes, I can do it the same way. So again, I can go into the Excel sheet manner, or I can open the business process form, and here I can do what I need to. Yeah, so if I will describe process goal, if I will describe the people engaged in the process realization, process triggers, what I can do about it, I can design a business process overview. Sorry, not this. Business process catalog here. Yeah, so based on information that comes from here, I can enrich my model and prepare the part for the stretching my repository with business glossary, because this business objects will be definition of information sets that I'm using in my business activities made day by day. A part of business roles that can be used for definition of our organization chart, my business products, business service, etc., etc. What's more, I can dive deep if I have process description made in here, because as you see in this part, I have business process flow steps. So if someone gives me some steps, step 1, step 2, I can use it for designing business process flow. So few activities and so much result for potential beneficent, because this way I can give them access to the business process flow and ask them, please describe what is going on in this place. So there is another dimension of information I can collect, and so on. I can dive deep and look to let's say project realization, and I can build the context for this project. So this IT will be conscious why they need to support this business this way, and it makes my repository complete. Another my pizza. Let's go here. This is about application. So I would like to know what is the current state of realization. So if I have some proposed application, I will ask my colleagues from IT department, guys, please give me information what this component is about. Why you place this component to the inventory? What is the reason? What is the genesis of it? So again, very easy way to work with this information. I can just give them access only to this. I can decide based on group restriction how deep they can dive in my model, and what kind of information I want to show them to cooperate with these guys. Yeah, this was my first two bits. Of course, I can look at the same information with different ways, vendor types, for example. Yeah, so all is accessible from one dashboard. These dashboards I have prepared a few for this small repository. Look, if I want to know what kind of applications based on category of application component. So my question is, what kind of applications support what kind of business processes? So now I know that is application 2, which supports process 6 and 4, and application 2, which is supporting business process 2, and business process 4. If I look for another information, let me see. What kind of components? Very similar. For me, component, I respect the definition of C4 model, so I'm trying to get to this idea. So component is the very small part of code that realizes some functionality. I don't know, QR code scanner, for example. So now I see that component can be used. The component is application number 3, and it supports process 3 and process 1. Yeah. Again, application usage. This is some kind of heat map that allows me to look on the criticality of the business processes and the critical applications in such a case. So if I want to see, let me see, only critical application I want to see. So now I know that critical business processes are business process 2 and 4, and critical applications from this point of view are application 2 and application 4. So this enables the discussion about what is the crucial to the company, what is the crucial to the organization, and what can wait for a while, and what we should focus later on. As you see here is a business heat map that shows business criticality. So there's a lot of ways how to present this information. I can use this view, for example. Sorry, not this way. Chart settings. I can look the same nested this landscape as a nested tree map, or I can switch into the nested pie. Yeah, so now I can look at the same information from the criticality point of view. So the same information presented like this. So as you see, this is a very flexible tool to work with information, and what can be presented in expected way, understandable way for our stakeholders and beneficiaries. And what is interesting, all I've shown here is based on only 7 business processes and 7 applications. So as this is not so much effort that needs to be done to be successful and to have some benefits using this environment. And this is the way how I am working. For example, I can show this diagrams of Kanban again as a viewpoint in Prolaborate. Only 2 catalogs with enriched by a few tagged values and as much as I can achieve based on it. So my way of making good pizza. So what I've shown is, I hope it is pretty impressive. But first of all, we need to check if in our organization people even like pizza. Because if we work with a company where only vegetarians are present, it can be hard to offer pizza with ham or I don't know with salami. What's more, organize a tasting. Yeah, so make the best pizza you can and try to show the people how this tastes. Propose Pizza Thursday. So every time you should try to evolve with your perspective, with your knowledge base, and try to show another benefits that you can offer, and we can achieve together with the company, with business, with architects, with any other group of stakeholders, based on the knowledge base. Conducting culinary training. So yeah, definitely we should engage people and do some education, some trainings to hire to grow the expertise of people. Engage other groups and ask them to prepare their recipes. So it's risky to be only person in company that know how it works and have only reasonable ideas. This is the prescription for failure. So we need to build some kind of community. Everyone can prepare pizza with different toppings, but pizza dough should be always the same good. So yeah, this pizza dough It's really crucial. So this foundation, this basis, should be very solid. Keep an eye on the menu. We do not serve Hawaii or spaghetti. Yeah. So we need to be conscious, and we need to still have in mind, keep in mind that we are famous and good Italian pizzeria, yeah, not a fast food. Because if we start to go to the fast food way, unfortunately, we can back to the starting point. Take care of a pizza ingredients. There has to be an owner of the pizza and of delivery of pizza toppings. For sure, the information that we will want to put on our pizzas should be very, very good quality. Yeah, unfortunately, this is a bit opposite what I said a while before, but there has to be an owner of the pizzeria. So one person or a few should be delegated as owners of a pizzeria, and they should care of it. So without it, you can meet some kind of schisma and a lot of problems in the future. So again, this is one of the pizza is from Salo. The second I have found in Viareggio. This is city nearby Pisa. It was amazing, really. And what was interesting, this was pizzeria where locals have get their supper. It was amazing because it was a huge queue. There are a lot of pizzerias, but only this one was so occupied. And why? Because they have pizzaiolo with skills, with experience, and with a taste. And people take out from this pizzeria huge huge bags with a pizza. So, as I mentioned, good crispy dough, good quality toppings, but the pizzaiolo with skills and expertise is what you need to have to be successful. And of course, good and professional oven, in this case, enterprise and Prolaborate and some third-party solution that allows you to get this data easy way. So my takeaway for you is, first of all, if you want to go this direction, this approach, identify your real needs for information management. Define priorities for the above information management. What is crucial, and mainly on the beginning. Start small, but think big. So we can do some small steps forward, but we need to have some idea what we want to achieve in I don't know, quarter or half a year. So this vision should be stable and shouldn't be changed every meeting, every stakeholder appearance. Avoid too many compromises regarding tool and notation usage. Again, you need to be like a Gandalf the Grey, but you know how the Gandalf the Grey has ended his life. He became Gandalf the White. Yeah, but first of all, he fall down. So we need to consider how far we can be flexible and where is the border we do not want to cross. Keep well-known rules and notation rather than create your own. This is about this customization. Really, it works. If you use any market well-known notation or techniques, it will be much more beneficial than create your own one. Use the tool itself and it great, by the way, capabilities. Enterprise is really good and amazing tool to me. I'm using this from version 6 and I'm still impressed what I can learn about this tool thanks to, for example, such a conference like this one. And I'm still growing and growing. Educate, popularize, simplify, be present everywhere where tools can help. So this is from my side. I hope I did it, and I hope you like it. This is it from my side. If you like pizza cake with Hawaii, I can do it as well because I did a lot of customization before. This is my achievement, by the way. I like pizza cake, but I do not call it Hawaii. I do not call it this pizza. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. It was me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Jacek. Thanks for the wonderful session. There are a couple of questions, and those
Sure,
questions have been pasted in the Slack channel for you to address to the participants directly. You can have a direct
sure,
conversation with the
sure.
participants. So the questions have been moved already, and you can take it forward from there. Thank you, Jacek. Thanks for the session. Thank you, participants. Thanks for your time and attention. If you have any remaining questions, please feel free to continue the discussion on our Slack channel, where the speakers and the team will be available to provide further answers. Later today, there are a lineup of sessions and speakers are presenting customer success stories and case studies in implementing Sparx AI. Don't miss. The next
Yeah.
session is 30 minutes. The next session is in 30 minutes by Bob presenting about C4 model accelerator.
Mhm.
Thanks
Thank
everyone.
you so
Thank
much.
you all.
Sorry for. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.